A man at dinner last year. Submariner on his wrist, the real one, and it looked cheap. It wasn't the brand, it wasn't the price, it was the fit. One mistake and your expensive watch looks like nothing. You will never unsee this. Rule 10. The number on the dial is lying to you. You read the spec sheet. 40 millimeters, 42, 38. You treat it like it means something. It does not. Two watches, both 40 millimeters. One sits perfectly on the wrist, balanced, locked in like it belongs there. The other hangs off both sides like a manhole cover strapped to a pencil. Same number, completely different reality. Here is what you should actually be looking at, lug to lug. The vertical distance from the top, lug to the bottom. Two 40mm watches can have lug-to-lug distances of 46 millimeters and 54 millimeters. On your wrist, they look like completely different sizes, because they are. The watch industry buries this number. It is not in the ad. It is not on the homepage. You have to dig for it. Most men never do, and that is exactly why their expensive watches look wrong. Rule 9. Overhang is the tell everyone sees but no one mentions. This is the part nobody talks about. When the lugs on your watch extend past the edges of your wrist, the watch stops sitting on your arm. It starts hovering over it. It looks unstable. It looks borrowed. It looks like the watch owns you, not the other way around. Picture two men, same watch, same price, same suit. One has the lugs sitting just inside his wrist edges, clean, deliberate, locked in. The other has lugs floating past both sides. The case wobbles every time he moves his hand. Everyone notices the second man. They cannot explain why, they just know something is off. And that feeling follows you out of the room. That feeling is the overhang doing its damage. No brand name on the dial fixes it. No price tag justifies it. Beginners buy the size that sounds impressive. Collectors buy the size that looks right. Rule 8. Thickness is the silent killer, and it's making your watch fight your wrist. Most men only think about width. But when your watch is too thick, it sits higher on your wrist and people notice it immediately. It catches the eye for the wrong reason. When you slide your sleeve over it, you feel the resistance. That resistance is your watch announcing itself in a room where confident men let theirs be discovered. In formal settings, thickness punishes you most. A slim profile disappears under your cuff and reappears when you move. Elegant, controlled, intentional. But when your watch is too thick, it creates a permanent lump under your sleeve that broadcasts effort instead of ease. The rule is simple. The more formal your setting, the slimmer your profile needs to be. And if your watch is snagging on your cuff every time you reach across a table, it's not the right watch for that room. It's a $3,000 object telegraphing insecurity. The next two rules are where expensive watches get exposed in under 5 seconds. Rule 7. A loose bracelet destroys the premium illusion before you say a word. Too loose, and watch what happens to you. Your watch slides toward your hand every time you lower your arm. It bounces against your wrist bone when you move. The case rotates off-center, and suddenly your $2,000 watch looks like something you won at a carnival. It stops looking intentional. It stops looking expensive. It stops looking like yours. One finger of space between the bracelet and your wrist. Not 2, not 0. 1. Sitting just above the wrist bone, not riding down toward your knuckles. When your watch sits there correctly, it stops moving. It moves with you instead of against you. And that stillness, that locked-in stillness, is exactly what premium looks like in motion. If your watch is sliding while you read this, you already know what you need to fix. Rule 6. The bracelet is adding size you are not accounting for, and this is where most men get it wrong. Some watches wear larger than their diameter suggests, and when you are wearing one of them, you feel it in the room before you see it in the mirror. Integrated end links, case architecture, bracelet spread, and certain designs push visual mass sideways. A 42mm case can feel like 46mm on your wrist, and you never see it coming. When you try a watch on, ask yourself one question. Does this look like it belongs on my wrist? Not whether it looks impressive, not whether it looks expensive. Does it look like it was made for you? If you are staring at your wrist in the mirror asking if this is too big, it is too big. Confident choices do not ask that question, they already know the answer. Rule 5. What people read as expensive isn't size, it's balance. This is the truth that changes everything. People don't read price, they read proportion. When your watch sits level, stays within your wrist edges, holds steady, and suits the setting, it looks controlled. That control is what the brain registers as expensive, not in 5 seconds, in under 1, before someone reads the dial, before they recognize the brand, before they process anything consciously. When your watch is too large, too thick, or too loose, it sends the opposite signal. It says you bought a number, not a fit. It says you're performing wealth instead of wearing it. A $500 watch that fits correctly will make people ask where you got it. A $5,000 watch fighting your wrist will make the room feel vaguely uncomfortable, and no one will be able to tell you why. One man is wearing a watch. The other is being worn by one. Rule 4. Test lug-to-lug first every single time. Stop starting with diameter. The first number you look up before buying any watch is the lug-to-lug measurement. Measure your wrist width. It is your ceiling. The lug should sit inside that measurement, not flush to it, not past it, inside it. Then try it on and focus on one thing only. Does your watch overhang the edge of your wrist? If it does not, you have something worth considering. If it does, no strap change, no bracelet swap, no careful placement on your wrist will save it. You will fight those proportions every day. When you are in doubt between two sizes, size down. A slightly smaller watch with clean proportions looks more expensive and more intentional than a larger watch that is fighting your arm. Every time, without exception. Rules 3, 2, and 1. These are fast. Remember them. Prioritize lug-to-lug over diameter. That's the measurement that actually tells you how a watch will look on your wrist. Eliminate overhang. Your lugs should not extend past your wrist edges. That is the test, not the diameter. Match thickness to your setting. Slimmer for dress, thicker only when the style genuinely calls for it. When in doubt, go slimmer. Lock your bracelet. 1 finger of space. Your watch should not slide, bounce, or rotate when you move. When it sits still, it looks expensive. When it moves without you, it does not. If it looks too big in the mirror, it is too big. That feeling is accurate. Trust it every time. Subscribe if this changed how you see your wrist. Drop it in the comments. Are you wearing the right size right now? I read every one.